What is up, guys? TheGreatWall back at it again with another video. Today we are here with another Rebuildmas episode. After further thinking, I'm gonna go back to doing one video a day. With the end of the semester coming up, Christmas and everything, it's gonna get a little hectic. So we're gonna just finish off this Rebuildmas series, and then once the Rebuildmas series is over, Christmas Day is the last one. We'll go back to the other stuff, the Career Saviors and the Make It Works. So yeah. Today is day number 10. Today is the 10th. And we are almost done with this whole side of the board. So, number 10's up here, as you guys can see. Actually, you probably can't see because camera is a little bit small. But, we do have the 10th. We got a special pack. Alright, we do have a special pack. The Evergreen Pack. Alright. So, according to my math, that means we have 2 special packs left. But as you can see, Evergreen Pack, it's Christmas trees on the other thing. We get 3 cards in this, so it's a little bit better than the 1 card pack that we got. As long as the players are, 3 good players. Very excited. I like special packs. See what we have in here. Okay. Oh, okay, so this is a relatively cool design. They're supposed to look like, Christmas trees in a way. We do get, our first player is Matt Shaw. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Oh, this one's good and bad. We get Roki Sasaki. That's one of my trade targets, so that's not the greatest thing in the world. And then, alright, our third player, New Jersey legend, Mike Trout. Hopefully he has a legend version in this game. I'm hoping he does because 38-year-old Mike Trout might not be the move, but I'm going to go put these 3 guys on the team, and then we're going to hop in to the rebuild. Alright, so I put the team together. Mike Trout doesn't have a Legend Edition, so I just basically made this one into the Legend Edition. These are going to be the stats that he has. I'm going to constantly change them because Mike Trout should have a Legend Edition in this game. Chris Sale does. Clayton Kershaw does. All those players do, like DeGrom. Mike Trout should have one because he used to be a beast, and now in this game he falls off very quickly. Yeah, so that being said, we have Roki. I'm going to leave him as a closing pitcher for the first year. He's going to be our closer. And then Matt Shaw is here. He's going to be up in the MLB. So it's kind of just, we need these 2 guys to develop and to build a good enough team around them. So, yeah, relatively simple. Let's get into, I'm going to make all the free agency signings. Probably will forget to show you guys because I normally do. And then we'll see you guys at the All-Star break. Alright, it's June 15th, which means we can now trade players. We're currently 3.5 games back on the wild card. We're way too far out for the NL East, or NL West, I mean. But I think I'm going to try to make a push, especially with teams like the Cubs and the Pirates in front of us. I think we could definitely make a comeback. So I'm going to make a few moves. I'm going to see if we can somehow turn this team at least into a playoff team. We're currently ranked 30th, 5 games under 500. So, yeah, we're going to make a bunch of moves, see what we can do. We're going to trade Rebuildmas Martinez for Chase McDermott, Albert Suarez, and Tyler Wells. Alright, we're going to trade Henny Quinones. I've definitely butchered that. I'm so sorry. And a Joe Random for Shane Drohan and Kyle Harrison. Alright, we're going to trade Gerard Hansen and 2 Joe Randoms for Joe Boyle. Pretty straight up move. Alright, we're going to trade Dylan Coleman, JD Martinez, and a Rick Murray for Eric Lauer, who's going to actually stay on the team. So, yeah. We're going to trade James Karinchak for Owen White and Mike Clevenger. We're going to trade Christian Betancourt and Brian Sammons for Doug, Zach Kent, and Joey Cantillo. We're going to trade Trevor Venable for Asa Lacey, Michael Lorenzen, and Bailey Falter. We're going to trade Corey Dennis and 2 Joe Randoms for Cody Lorison, Connor Prelip, and Taj Bradley. We're going to trade Declan Cronin for Emerson Hancock straight up. We're going to trade Jose Devers and 2 Joe Randoms for Kumar Rocker and Patrick Corbin. We're going to trade Alex Verdugo and Nick Maton for Connor Siebel, J.R. Ritchie, and Dane Dunning. We're going to trade Dane Dunning and 2 Joe Randoms for Ben Brown and Mike Soroka. We're going to trade Bailey Falter and 2 Joe Randoms for Sean Sullivan, Carmen Ladonsky and Braxton Ashcraft. We're going to trade Doug and a Joe Random for Nestor Cortez. We're going to trade Emerson Hancock for Hayden Birdsong and Blade Tidwell. We're going to trade Braxton Ashcraft and 2 Joe Randoms for Trevor Rogers, and then we're going to just need one more starter, and our rotation is going to be set, so we're going to make this deal. We're going to trade Zach Kent, JT Chargois, and Joey Cantillo for Cam Schlittler. Figured we'd switch it up, get someone we don't normally get, so yeah. I'm going to try to get a couple players we normally don't get, so Cam's going to be the first one. We're going to trade Nestor Cortez and Tyler Wells for Abner Uribe. I feel like we get him sometimes, but not very often, so yeah. We're going to trade Cody Lawyerson, Albert Suarez, and Michael Lorenzen for Jeremiah Estrada. Someone else we don't get much, so yeah. We're going to trade Connor Seabald and Lance Dotson for Garrett Whitlock. We're going to trade Shane Drohan and a Joe Random for Garrett Clevenger. We're going to trade Sean Sullivan and a Joe Random from Gabe Spear. We're going to trade Kumar Rocker and a Joe Random for Justin Martinez. He's going to be our actual closer, I think. I might move one of these guys to closer. I might get an actual closer, but yeah, we only need one more relief pitcher, so yeah. Alright, I know we get him all the time, but we're going to go Hayden Birdsong for Kate Smith straight up, and he's going to actually stay as our closer. So, yeah, now we just need to get some hitters in here, and then we should hopefully have a playoff team. Alright, we're going to trade Bubba Thompson and Carmen Ladonsky for Kyle Teal. I don't think I've gotten him once in this. He normally does very well, so I'm going to get him. We're going to trade Patrick Corbin and Joe Boyle for Spencer Torkelson. I don't think I've ever gotten him in this game, so yeah. Alright, we're going to trade Blade Tidwell and Kyle Harrison for Nico Horner. I think I may have gotten him once or twice, but not very often, so we're going to get him and add him to this team. We're going to trade Taj Bradley and 2 Joe Randoms for Caleb Durbin. Can confidently say I haven't gotten him in this game, so yeah. I don't know if this team's going to be able to win a World Series. I'm just kind of want to try out some new players, so it's kind of what we're doing, so yeah. Alright, this is probably going to be our big kind of superstar trade that we're making. Ben Brown, Chase McDermott, and a Joe Random for Corey Seager. Yeah, he's going to be hopefully our superstar shortstop. I just realized we also have Matt Shaw here. He'll probably be the DH. So yeah, he's going to be our superstar shortstop. Hopefully he's going to be the thing that carries us, so yeah. We're going to trade J.R. Ritchie, Joey Gallo, and a Joe Random for Kyle Stowers. Kind of hoping he's going to be a good option for us. Haven't used him in a while, so see how he does. Alright, another big bat that we're going to get. Connor Prelip, Asa Lacey, and Owen White for Byron Buxton. And that's the last starter we're going to get. I might make a trade or two for a couple backups, but hopefully Byron Buxton can help carry this team to the promised land. I think we have a pretty good lineup for the most part, so yeah, maybe just need a couple bench bats and we should be okay. We're going to trade Mike Clevenger and a Joe Random for Darren Blanco. That's going to be the last player we're getting. This should hopefully be a playoff team, hopefully a World Series team. So I'll see you guys at the All-Star break. Alright, we're at the Home Run Derby. The team has, flipped it around in the second half. Mike Trout's doing a job. He's hitting 340. Phenomenal. See who our All-Stars are. We're slightly above 500, which is good. We're second in our division. Mike Trout's an All-Star. Good to see. Cam Schlittler's an All-Star. Beautiful. Let's see. Jeremiah Estrada doing a great job. Closer's not here. Kate Smith, right? Yeah, no. Kate Smith isn't there. Catcher's not here. Who even is our... Oh, Kyle Teal. First baseman's not here. Second baseman's not here. Third baseman's not here. Shortstop is not here. Left fielder's not here. Center fielder's not here. And then Mike Trout is here. Yeah. I'll show you guys a draft class in a second. Alright, we had a pretty good draft. Don't think we're going to need it, though. So, yeah. Alright, we finished 91 and 71. Not a bad year. We do have the 4th spot because the Dodgers, 7 games better than us. But we are far and away the best wild card team. Wow. Okay. Yeah, wow. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to go fix it, actually. I always forget to do this. Mike Trout went off. He had an OPS of 1170. Oh, my God. Mike Trout wins a batting title, MVP, Hank Aaron, everything you can think of, he won it. Oh my god. Wow. 334, 52 home runs. Yeah. I would say it's a pretty good year. 12.6 WAR. Yeah, you know, it's decent, I guess. Yeah. Wow. All right. Who else was here? Corey Seager with a 5.3, Buxton with a 4.7, Nico with a 4.6, Kyle Teal with a 4.1. Not bad. Anybody else? Nope. All right. Pitching WAR though. Hopefully had a couple guys here. Eric Lauer with a 3, Trevor Rogers with a 2.6, Cam Schlittler with a 2.3, Soroka with a 2.1, and then Roki with a 1.9. 12 and 6, I mean, didn't have a bad year. 3.48 ERA, 19 saves as well. Pretty good all-around year for him. Abner Uribe with a 1.6. Kate Smith with a 1.5, had himself 45 saves. Jeremiah Estrada, 1.5. So pitching did very well. Awards, Mike Trout, Gold Glove, and Hank Aaron, and MVP, and batting title, and the Triple Crown. I mean, just... this is the GOAT. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care. Mike Trout is the GOAT. That being said, let's go see if we can add World Series and Playoff MVP to his catalog. Alright, we're taking on the Cubs. Trevor Rogers versus Justin Steele, Game 1 is a W. Roki versus Horton, Game 2 is a W. We are taking on the Phillies. Okay, yeah, that's just who was on our side. I'm going to go fixed rotation, and then we'll hop into it. Alright, we're facing the Phillies. Trevor Rogers versus Christopher Sanchez is a W. Roki versus Zach Wheeler is a loss. Lauer versus Luzardo is a W. Schlittler versus Sanchez is a W. We're moving on to take on the Dodgers. I'm going to go fixed rotation, and then we'll hop in. Alright, we're taking on the Dodgers. Trevor Rogers versus Shohei is a W. Roki versus Yamamoto is a loss. Lauer versus Snell is a loss. Schlittler versus Otani. Soroka versus Sheehan. Rogers versus Yamamoto. Roki versus Snell, Game 7. And we are moving on to the World Series against the Rangers. I'm going to go fix the rotation. Then we're going to go hop in. Alright, we are taking on the Rangers. Trevor Rogers versus Tyler Mahle, Game 1 is a big W. Roki versus DeGrom. Close loss. Lauer versus Bradford is a W. Schlittler versus Tyler Mahle is a W. We have 3 chances to win the World Series. Who we got on the bump? I'm probably going to switch who's actually pitching. 82 and 80 versus 91 and whatever we were. I'm going to put Trevor Rogers on the bump for Game 1. Or Game 5, whatever this is. We don't start off with anything. Rogers just do a job. Great work. We put up 2. Rogers throws up a 0. Beautiful to see. Way to be. Okay, he gives up a single. Another single. 3-run homer. Yep, I kind of had a feeling. I love the scripting in this game. There we go. Come on, offense. Get us another run. There we go. Tied it up. Double play. Beautiful work. We put up 2. There we go. Way to get out of it. Trevor Rogers, first sign of trouble. He's done. Beautiful work. Alright, I'm going to hop in. See if we can get it done with Trevor Rogers. See if he can get himself a complete game to end the World Series. Besides that 3-run homer, really had a great game. So, yeah. Is it the best team we've built? No. But it's a different team, you know. Bunch of players we don't use very often, if ever. Obviously, the pitching's the same. It's really hard with the pitching because there's only like a limited... Okay, and that's going to be out number 3. What I was saying, though, is it's very hard with the pitching because there's, you know, very limited amount of good pitchers in this game. So, yeah, we got it done. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Yeah, Mike Trout, player of the game. Hopefully that means he won World Series MVP. Trevor Rogers, complete game. Besides that 3-run homer would have been a shutout, but nonetheless, good performance from him. Yeah, we got it done nice and easy. Yeah, it was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Byron Buxton, World Series MVP and playoff MVP. Mike Trout. Wow, Byron Buxton went off. 9 home runs for the guy. Okay, so he had 4 right here alone. Wow, good for him. You know, deserved. That being said, though, you did see the guys. We did have Roki. Matt Shaw was in the lineup. Let me see how he did. He hit 182 in the playoffs. I mean, yeah. And then obviously Roki Sasaki was on the bump for a couple of the games. How did he do? Yeah, he did all right. And then you obviously saw Mike Trout right there. Yeah, that being said, thank you guys as always for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and peace.